Are we ourselves or a mere reflection of society? To what extent have we lost ourselves that we do not realize it? Strong questions, I know, and I have never stopped to think about them until 3 years ago, when a trivial event changed the way I view life. No, I won't kiss him. He is the man in the relationship, so he needs to kiss me first. This was my way of thinking in 9th grade, as I have been taught all my life that a man is the one who needs to kiss a woman first. I come from a conservative Mexican society in which social and gender norms are followed strictly. So I never stopped to question why it was wrong for a woman to kiss a man first. I just followed this social norm. However, our relationship had a time limit, as I was going to study abroad for a year. So as months passed by and our time shortened and shortened, I became anxious. He was my first boyfriend, and I have never had my first kiss. So I didn't want to leave this country. I didn't want to leave Mexico without it. In the last day of our relationship, this changed, and I decided to kiss him. I know this may seem like adolescence problems, like a trivial event, but it taught me that I have never really done what I wanted it to do. I just followed what society told me to do. I wanted to kiss him, but I didn't. It taught me that since childhood, we have been installed with ideas, beliefs, and expectations. Our teachers, parents, and friends have imposed a model which we need to follow, which we need to fit in. A man is born free, yet wherever he goes, he's in chains. This quote by Rousseau shows how society has chained us. Society has restricted our behavior, our thoughts, and our actions. So accompany me today in order to find ourselves and to walk the path of individuality. This may seem like adolescence nonsense, but in reality, how we change in order to fit in has been proved by psychological and sociological theories, which we will touch later on. But first, I want to ask you, why do you want to fit inside society? Psychologists have a simple answer. It is because we want to feel loved and accepted. Belonging to a group in social media provides exactly this. However, in adolescence, this may be a little tricky, as we still don't know who we are. Our identity is not defined. So our self-esteem is also in a tightrope. So we may do actions that we don't want to do. We may do and behave in a way that we in reality wouldn't do, just in order to fit in. And this is taken advantage, not only by society, but now by social media and firms as well. Who here has Instagram, or TikTok, or any other social platform in which you create a version of yourself? I do. I have Instagram. And before, I used to post only the pictures where I look nice, all dressed up, or which I went to a trip or with my friends. So by this, I only showed to the world a false version of myself. The Luisa that always had fun and who was always pretty. I never posted pictures in my pajama or doing homework. But this false version was not only social media, but I also created one for my parents, for my friends, for my teachers. And with all of these false versions that I have created, I end up losing myself. I didn't know which one was the real one, which one was me. Social media and firms use this false version created by us in order to make profits. I think that we want to fit in, so we want to keep maintaining this false version. And we're going to see this in the theories. The first theory is a social cognitive theory. It states that we learn through observation. We internalize a role model's behavior into our own. It consists of 4 aspects. The first one is identification. is that we're more likely to identify with a role model and to imitate it if we identify with it. The second one is modeling. This is when we imitate the role model's behavior. One time I went to Los Angeles with my mom. We went to a restaurant, we ordered food, we sit, and we were chatting. And she told me, "Luisa, look around you. Don't you notice something?" No, not really. Don't you notice that all the girls look alike? Yes, it's true. They'll have small noses, plump lips, and their figure is like this. And I started to think, they remind me of someone. Yes, I know, Kim Kardashian. So here, what this could have happened is that the girl first identified with Kim Kardashian. So she liked beauty products, enjoyed shopping, and her lifestyle. Then she started to imitate her. She started modeling her. Do you know that the United States is a country that has the most plastic surgeries in the world? So she could have not only imitated her by buying similar products or the ones that she advertised, but also by changing her body. The third step is expectations. It's what we think will be the outcome of expecting such behavior, of imitating such behavior. So this girl likes boys, and she notices that Kim Kardashian is very popular among them, and also with her group of friends. So by imitating her, she unconsciously thinks that she will be more liked within these groups. The fourth one is self-efficacy, how capable we are of imitating such model. If she feels that she can buy her products and have a similar lifestyle, then she will imitate her. Have you ever bought or do something because someone else did it? I certainly have. Adidas Superstars. These sneakers were a tremendous hit back in my days. So all of the school had them. And so I decided to buy some of my own. So I went, I bought them, and the next day I arrived happily with my shoes. And I had the same as everyone else. But do you really like these sneakers? No, not really. I prefer other sneakers. But as they were the trend and as everyone else had it, I bought them. So in the end, we bought and do things and actions just because other people do it, just because we imitate them, and not because we really want to do such things. This also happens in social media with influencers and celebrities. So they give a product and an idea to them that they need to advertise. So they go and advertise it, and the next day, half of the school has this product. This is an example of how, by having these role models, social media wants and sells us things. But by doing so, we end up losing our authenticity because we don't really like these products some of the time. We just buy them because a celebrity showed it to us. The next theory is a social identity theory. Imagine you're new at the school and it's lunchtime. So you arrive to the patio and you need to choose who are you going to sit with. So you see these different groups of people. That group over there, those girls are all wearing black. They must be the e-girls. And that group over there, they're wearing athletic clothing, the athletes. And those ones, they're the populars. For here, what we have done first is that we categorize each group according to some characteristics that they have. It's basically like stereotyping. This is the first aspect, categorization. The second one is identification. So now is your time to choose who are you going to sit with. What about that group over there? They are all wearing artsy clothing. They seem kind of bohemian. I consider myself to be an artist. I like art and to paint. So yes, I'm going to sit with them. So here you identify with the group. And as time passes, you're going to start to adopt certain behavior from them and social norms. Let's stop for a second and think about the similar traits we have with our friends. What way of speaking we have, what way of dressing. Are these things the ones that you like? Or are they because you adopt them from them? You adopted these things from them. And I mean, of course you're going to have similar things because that's what makes us friends. But which one of these things? To what extent are we doing the same as they are doing, just because we want to fit in? Which ones do we really like? Or which ones have just adopted to fit in? In my case, it was Adidas Superstar. I didn't really like them, but I bought them just to fit. And this theory is also used in social media. So here they divide us by groups and categorize us. An example of this is the Visco girls. So they have the group, the Visco girls, and they know what kind of products they can target to them, how they are likely to react. For example, they're likely to have these types of products, and this one, and this one. So by having these groups classified, it is easier for them to sell them stuff. Also, they may place leaders inside these groups, and here is where the social cognitive theory also takes place. So they put a leader, and this leader advertises a product, and then the group buys it. They buy it because they're following and they are imitating the behavior of the role model, but also because they want to fit inside that group. And this not only happens in social media, but also inside society. I created a false version of myself to show it to society, to my parents, to my friends. I created just to fit within that group, to please them. I wanted to kiss my ex-boyfriend, but I didn't do it because that was not the social norm, because the social norm and the way I needed to act. Because of this, I decided not to until that last day. So far, we have seen how we change within society with all of these theories. However, a very important question still prevails. How do we not lose ourselves when society invites us to do so? How do we know when we're ourselves, our authentic being, or a reflection of society? Solitude could be a great start. We're used to never being alone. We're at school with our friends, doing homework, then we arrive home with our phones, we use our phones, we watch a movie, we study, exercise, and sleep. And in all of these times, we never stop to think and reflect. We never have time for introspection. There's a tremendous amount of energy expended so that we don't get bored. There's that cinematographic industry, editorials, clubs, parties. So we're used to never being alone, never being bored. Bertrand Russell even said that we are intolerable to boredom and thus loneliness. But what happens with all of this? Well, by never being able to reflect and question which are our tastes, our beliefs, and our ideas, society and social media implants these things into us. We never stop and question if we really like this. We just do it. No one realizes that some people expend a tremendous amount of energy merely to be normal. Albert Camus said this. And what this means is that we try so hard to fit in that we end up losing ourselves. That we end up wearing out. But couldn't we use this happiness in order to do something this energy, in order to do something that brings us greater happiness? Now, your concept of happiness depends on the concept of normality. Is it a one that relies on material things, on superfluous, and is ephemeral? Or do you want a happiness that's yours, that's fulfilling, and that's meaningful? Yes, it is difficult to be yourself. Yes, it is difficult to be indifferent to the opinions of others. Yes, it is difficult to be vulnerable and reflective. But let's take some time with ourselves. Let's think. Let's get bored. Because when we're bored and we're alone, our mind wanders, it creates connections, and it makes us reflect and question our ideas, beliefs, and expectations. It makes us think which ones are really our own, which ones do we really like, or which ones we have just taken from society and social media. Today, I have just exposed one way to find yourself, but there are many paths. The path of authenticity does not follow one way, but many. So it is your time to find your own path. Let's be someone who follows their own norms. Let's be someone who are authentic. Let's be someone who are happy, who have a fulfilling and meaningful happiness, which is their own. The path of authenticity is not just a mere rebellion, but it is a way of life. Thank you.